Hey everybody, it's Tamika Wells, and I just wanted to talk to you all about um, the story behind one of my favorites so far called Sad Day. Um, Sad Day, I feel like it articulates the importance of taking care of the mind, body, and soul and heart when you're dealing with grief and loss. And that could be of any kind, especially with everything going on in the world right now. And so, um, I personally am A type personality, a go getter, a rescuer. I can tend to be codependent. It's something that I actively work on in friendships, relationships, social circles, and things like that. And so, um, one thing that we don't know how to do as rescuers is take time for ourselves. So, um, Sad Day was a day where I literally just took time for myself and just checked in with my body and my mind and my spirit and my heart throughout the day and say, are you okay to do the laundry? Are you okay to talk to this person? Are you okay to um, get up out of bed? How do you feel? And that's been a first. I, you know, you may or may not know this about me, but I'm 40 years old, and by the age of 32, I had lost mother, father, grandmother on my mother's side, and both my grandfathers. So that's pretty young um, to go through close knit grief like that. And just experiencing that each time you learn something different about yourself and others. And so now that there's a movement for self care, especially amongst women of color, people of color, A type personalities, rescuers, codependent, people who are always saving the day, always strong. Sad Day was giving me, giving you, giving us permission to say, what's good for me today? Am I okay? And if I'm not, that's fine. You know, the shame culture where people have to be perfect and be multiple people and heroes in totally different areas of their life, whether at work or home, spiritual or church, in the temple, wherever you worship, or out on the court, in the streets. You know, you've got to be this hardcore, strong, perfect person that dots every I and crosses every T. So something like grief or loss is a total curveball, especially when for me, for example, I all of those pit stops in my life or experiences with loss, I had a child to take care of by myself. And so it's like you become emotionally constipated, you know, for lack of a better term, stuck where things are inside of you, and you got to maintain, you either got to stay faced or you've got to stay strong for everybody else. And so after a while, um, even with different losses recently, it's like, well, I feel sad now, but I have to handle this, so I can't. Maybe later. Okay, it's later, but now I don't feel like crying, or I'm around certain people or in certain situations where I can't. And then finally, when you want to, you just can't. And next thing you know, days, weeks, months, years go by, and you just smell a certain smell and you lose it. Or you see a certain scene in a movie, or you hear a certain song and you're crying and you're like, what is wrong with me? And that's how grief can be. And for someone that's always strong all the time, it tends to be even worse. And then we've got to usually keep it together. So then it's like, um, I got to fix this problem. I don't know what this thing is that just popped up, but we got to fix it, handle it ASAP. Because, you know, with what I do and who I help and how I handle things, this isn't a good look, this isn't working for me. And that's very unhealthy. But that's the way that we've been programmed in life, probably up through childhood to be. I was a parentified child. I had to be at the age of 17, making sure my mom was taking her mental health medicines and things like that while I'm trying to finish school. And then 2 years later, I'm with the child and still having to look out for my parent at times when it would seem like it should be the other way around. So we never had the opportunity, people like us never had the opportunity to be cared for. So when people throw out the term self-care, it's like, what does that mean? What does that even look like? I'm still personally trying to wrap my mind around it. So in these little losses, like, now the loss of a cat, which might not seem like a big deal to most, but like I said, when you have that kind of different stages of loss so early in life, to be able to be home and just cry over a cat is a blessing, because my child is now out the house, and I don't have to be as strong, as before. And so, or for example, going through a miscarriage. And again, life is usually always perfect, kind of not perfect, but things line up the way that they should, hopefully. And then when it doesn't, or the circumstances aren't ideal. And so again, taking that time to breathe in, breathe out, inhale, exhale, listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to your soul, listen to your heart, and be okay with being a mess and crying, or standing in the shower just crying, or taking some of those sick days that some of y'all have piled up, and just giving your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, your heart that time to mend, because it's metaphysical. We can't x-ray our heart, we can't x-ray our soul and see how it or he or she is doing, or they are doing. And so that's something that we do still have symptoms. For example, I started getting forgetful, and because of my experience with losing my mother in 2012, and then like 3 weeks later after a funeral, I realized there's a problem. It's like, okay, though I've been there before, something's not right, or I'm aggy, I'm irritated over the simplest little thing with somebody. Yeah, I need to take a sad day. I need to take a moment to just zone out, or veg out, or sleep, whatever, is giving my body rest or peace right now, and shutting out certain friends and family, church members, spiritual people, who don't get it, because it's one of those things where unless they've been through it, a lot of people just don't get it unless they've been specially trained in that area. And hopefully our society will change soon with that. But you just have to learn how to set those limitations and know those signals and triggers. After a while, you begin to learn, hopefully not in the same short period of time that I had to learn these things, but hopefully sad day won't be something where people build a mansion there in sad day, but it's a tent, a place of healing, a place of growth and self-discovery. And also, I think there's a part in there too where it says, maybe I'll grieve with you if you're safe to, and there's people who will prey on you at a weak moment like that, as I've experienced time and time again. So being aware of who is safe and who's not. And then if you are in a situation where you feel like your thoughts are going to a point of doing something permanent or terminal, that could hurt you or someone else, then getting help with that, with safe people, with hotlines, suicide hotlines, or addiction specialists, etc. Because as I've experienced personally, that when we do things to numb or to check out and to avoid that pain, we end up right back at square one with more grief and loss, because a lot of times what we did, whether it was a poor relationship choice, or an addiction, or too many bottles of whatever, or too many pills, or whatever, too many partners or whatever, you know, that pain hasn't gone away. It's still there. And a lot of times, most people do something permanent or terminal to avoid that feeling. And if they could just get out of that feeling, then they wouldn't do what they're doing. And so, taking that sad day, taking that moment, taking those days, um, intermittently, hopefully will stop that cycle and help us to let out that pain in a healthy way, especially through therapy and counseling and things like that. You know, that was the kind of story, the point behind Sad Day. I hope it really helps, you know, and gets us all through what we're currently going through in 2021. Is still a pandemic across the world, and hopefully it'll just make us better people overall as the times and the decades go by. So I'm Tamika Wells. I'm a poet, a speaker, motivational encourager, and I hope that this really has helped you, blessed you. And please share, please subscribe, please support so that I can help to get more healing out to the world. Take care.
And it's sad day. Y'all okay? 'Cause I'm not okay today.